Master Certified Coach with the International Coach Federation and a Health and Wellness Coach with the National Medical Board. Let's get started on the journey of self love. When you think about a journey, what comes to mind? It means we're going from one place to another. There's a starting point and there's a destination. And in between that starting point and destination, there is an experience. That experience could be exploration, it could be discovery, and that's what the I factor is about. So imagine you are at the start of this journey. Imagine this is the first day of the rest of your life, or even if it's the first day of just today. Today is your starting point, and this is your present self. The destination will be your future self. What happens in between is the journey you are traveling. So, what do I mean by that? As you go on your journey in life, you are exploring new things, different things, things that make you comfortable, things that make you uncomfortable. You're discovering things about yourself and about other people. When you are in communication with other people, how they show up could show you things about who you are. You're learning, you like certain things, you don't like certain things, you're applying some of the stuff that you're learning. And at the end of the day, we want to think about, what have I learned? What has emerged? What do I look like right now? Every day will be your story, and you get to write your story. Every day will be your story, and you get to write your story. The beginning, the exploration, the discovery, and the destination. You know, there may be things and people that enter throughout the journey. There may be things and people that enter throughout your day. Being able to focus on you and learning to love yourself is key. So here's a little story that I want to share about me. When I went through my divorce, I remember going to the bank and I was going to have a name change. I was really excited. And here I am sitting with the banker across from me, and it was Valentine's Day. And so I said to her, Happy Valentine's Day. And she said to me, Oh, thank you. But I just don't have anybody to celebrate it with. She said, What about you? I said, Well, I'm really excited about celebrating Valentine's Day with myself. And then she said, Oh, wow. She said, Why? I said, Well, because I've just gone through a divorce. And for the first time, I'm getting to know me. And she said, I've been divorced, but can I give you a piece of advice? I said, Sure. And she said, 3 rules, which I want to give you today. 3 rules. Rule number one, love yourself. Rule number 2, love yourself. And rule number 3, love yourself. Because when you focus on you and start reflecting on you, then only can you start loving people around you. When you respect yourself, then only will you be able to respect those around you, what their beliefs are, whether you believe them or not, whether you agree with them or not. It's about learning how to respect yourself, your self-worth. This is the I factor. This is it. Every day will be your story, and you get to write your story. So here's what I want to encourage you about today, about this I factor. When you go to bed tonight, make a promise to yourself. And that promise is simple. The first thing I will do when I get up in the morning is smile. Why do I need to smile? I will smile because it is the day I get to write my story. Whether you feel like it or not, smile. There will be mornings when you get up and you may not feel like it, but force the smile. And before long, that smiles will start to become real and true for you. So when you get to the mirror in the bathroom, the first experience of your reflection, you see a smiling face. That's the face people will see all day. But here's the amazing thing, you get to see your face first. You get to experience your smile first. It is the I factor. When you get to experience your smile first, you can look in the mirror in the morning and say, I found you. Let's spend the day together. And then take yourself on a journey for that day. Like we talked about, the journey is a beginning, a starting point where you are, an exploration during the day where you will discover things about yourself, things that you may like or may not like. And that day ends when you go to bed. What did I learn about myself today? Who am I now? How have I emerged? What is unique and different about me? So think about it. You go on your day and you're spending it with yourself. People are around you. But the more people surround us, we then start thinking about what they think about us. So humans tend to show up being on a behavior or saying something that where we want to be heard. Or we may want to show someone who we are, what we're made of, what we know. We may want to share our story. Very often, that focus is taken away from us and what's coming up for us. And it gets meshed into the story of everybody. So I will challenge you at midday when it's the top of the hour. Remember to smile. Remember to smile. Because that's the promise you made to yourself. It's the promise that you making to yourself. And why? Because today you get to write your story. And all it takes is a smile. Remembering to smile because you are loving yourself, you're appreciating yourself, you're seeing your self-worth, you're seeing how unique you are. Do you know there is only one of you in this world? Do you know that only you can do what you do? Others may try, but only you can do what you do. Your DNA makes you unique. And so let's go through the day. In the morning, you get up, you smile, you go through your day, you do a check-in. It's at the top of the hour. It's probably midday. And then the needle of the clock moves to maybe 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. It's afternoon. Now you want to turn up the dial. You've gone through half the day. Your mood may be great. You may be, or it may not, depending on what the day looks like. How do you want to turn up the dial? When you turn up the dial is on your face. Smile again. Imagine the power of that. Imagine if you are remembering to smile all day long because you know you are on a journey of self discovery. You are on a journey of self love. You are exploring, you're discovering, and you're writing your story. And you may get home, or if you're working from home and it's evening, here's your moment of gratitude. So, whether you have a journal or you want to write something in the notes of your phone, however you want to capture your thoughts for the day, smile. And maybe just even if you write the word smile, or if you wrote, I live today because I smiled for me. If you wrote something like that, or you could journal, I smiled and this is how it made me feel. Or you could write, I remember to smile at myself today. Just something simple. When you go to bed at night, remember it's the end of the journey of that day. The next day, you're going to write a new story, another story. You're going to build on the story. You're getting to write it. This is the I factor. I lived today. I smiled. I discovered something about myself. I'm becoming a new version of who I want to be. Until you get to a place where think about 5 years from now. If you met your best version, the best version of yourself on the street, will you recognize yourself based on where you are today? You want to be able to say, my futures to your future self, I've arrived at that moment. Now, here's the thing when we get to our future self, it's not future anymore, it becomes your present self. And so your future self becomes the end of the next day, or the end of the week, or the end of the month, or the end of the year. Your future self is always moving, it's always a moving target. Why? Because we will always be writing our story. We will always be transforming. We will always be emerging based on what we're reflecting on. So remember to smile. It's the I factor. I'm going to leave you with this thought. Who you are becoming is greater than who you were before this moment. Let me say that again. Who you are becoming is greater than who you were before this moment. Remember to smile. You're on a journey and you get to write your story. I'm able to access my greatness. My top three values in life are spirituality, wisdom, and creativity. Spirituality connects me to something that's bigger than me. So being able to understand that I'm just not me in my home right here, or my office right here, or my job right here, but I'm connected to something that's larger than life. It causes me to find what that meaning is in life. What I like about myself is my patience. I'm a coach and I have so much of patience listening to people's challenges and opportunities that they want to share, aspirations that they have. I have just so much, a world of patience listening to that without judgment. But For our first session, we talked about the I factor, where you get to write your story, and who you are becoming is greater than who you were before this moment. Let's continue on the journey of self love. Think about a recent journey you may have taken. You went from one place to another. It had a starting point and a destination. On this journey of self love, the starting point is your present self, who you are right now. And the journey is your future self, what you can envision or what you'd like to be. Think about each episode as the next landmark, the place you land before you get to the destination. And let's call that your emerging self. So, on this destination, on this journey to your destination, there will be a self that's emerging. You are evolving. Your greatness is emerging. The greatness is already inside of you. This journey is unique because it is inward. It's a journey through the maze of your mind, exploring the hidden greatness that lies within. It's a journey through the chambers of your heart, discovering your greatness and learning how to love who you are. Think about your cell phone. Right? It's a gadget in your hand. You can hold it, you can see it, you can feel it, you play with it. Until you unlock your phone, you cannot even begin to understand what it is capable of. A small gadget that can connect you to the rest of the world. Spending time with your phone and exploring your phone allows the phone to bring the rest of the world to you. So think about yourself in that same concept. What do you love about yourself? You can only understand what you love about yourself when you know and understand your purpose and your life values. When you live in alignment with your values, life has meaning. When you experience challenges in life or go through tough times, knowing your values and anchoring in your values helps guide us. We can then see the silver lining in the cloud. That is being able to access the greatness within. That is a silver lining, and that is the purpose of your life. My purpose, and I want to share that with you, is helping people see and understand their limitless potential, unlocking their limitless thinking by accessing their greatness. And I do this through coaching. This is what I do every day. For you being able to live your values, being able to live a meaningful life is by understanding what your values are for yourself, for those in your close circle, for those in your broader circle, and also for what's around those in your broader circle. This happens for me every day. When I coach people all over the world, I'm able to access my greatness. My top three values in life are spirituality, wisdom, and creativity. Spirituality connects me to something that's bigger than me. So being able to understand that I'm just not me in my home right here, or my office right here, or my job right here, but I'm connected to something that's larger than life. It causes me to find what that meaning is in life. It helps me to get to where the greatness is. My second value is wisdom. And my wisdom comes from, life's lessons, the tough times, the good times, what I've learned from people, from my childhood, from being broken, from having courageous conversations, just bringing all of me and sharing that with others through words, through thoughts, just a way of being, helping people with mindset shifts, helping people with emotional and access emotional and mental agility. Here's a quick story. Just the other week, I was in a session with a whole lot of leaders, and we were sharing about our values. And so I began to share about mine, and he said to me, he said, "Chloe, you talking about something bigger than you. You're talking about sharing with others. But what about you? Where's the focus on you? Where's your self love?" And I'm like, "Oh, thank you, Jim. Thank you for reminding me." Which brings me to my third value. Because unless I can access my greatness and understand what makes me great, then I can love who I am. I'll be able to access that and love me. My third value is creativity. Music brings me alive. I'm a jazz pianist. I love sitting at the piano and just playing. Whether I'm improvising, whether I'm playing for others, that is when I'm in the zone. That's when I have no inhibitions. I'm able to flow. That type of creativity is what gets me in a place where I'm like, now this is for me. It's allowing me to breathe. And a lot of that greatness is that creativity which I can bring to others as well, not just to myself. That's accessing my greatness. That's what I love doing. That's how I love being. And that is what I love about me. What do you love about you? Being able to explore your greatness, finding your purpose. What is your purpose? What brings meaning to you? When are you experiencing true joy, pure joy? What are you doing? Who are you with? What are your life's values? When do you come alive? You know that this is me. This is who I am. Understanding that this greatness is inside of me and I love this about. This is the journey you're taking inwards. It's a journey, but it goes inwards. So I'm going to invite you to take your journey inward and see what happens. See how your greatness emerges and what unfolds. The Tao says the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. What is the one step you will take today to unlock your greatness and learn to love yourself even more? Next week, we will be talking about what you like about yourself. So think about social media. People use the like it icon or the love it icon. Today, you clicking on the love it icon for yourself. So please go ahead and discover your life values. Pick the three things that make the most importance to you. The three things that bring most meaning to you. It begins with one step. Take the journey inward, see what happens, and discover your greatness. So I know what I love about myself. How do I know that? I'm the more I lean into my values, the more I experience my greatness. The more my greatness is manifested, the more I will see what I love about myself. But what do I like about myself? Right? So here are three things that I'm going to share about me. And as I talk about my journey, think about your journey. One of the things I like about myself is my kindness. But there are times when my kindness is mistaken for weakness. That's when people start to take advantage of my kindness. My kindness has, I've been complimented on my kindness. I've heard people say, "Chloe, you're a kind soul, or you're so kind." And I love that. However, there are certain times when it is taken advantage of. And when people take advantage of my kindness, the possibility is that I will be manipulated. They will try to dominate me. They'll try to tell me what to do. So this is about what are others doing to me. For example, I was in a situation where I was collaborating with two other people. And just so that we have great rapport, I was really kind and open and vulnerable. And I was open to their ideas, um, created a very safe place for them to um, share their ideas and bring their true self, their full self to the conversation, because I wanted them to feel comfortable. However, after a few meetings of, just creating the safe space, we sat down to talk about something, and the two of them said, "Well, Chloe, we want to just say something to you." I said, "Okay, yeah, sure." These two people went on a rampage, just, shooting me down. And I sat there and took it. And I thought to myself, the only reason they were able to be that bold, because they're really not very bold, two bold individuals. That's why I created the space. But the reason that they were that bold was because they felt safe with my kindness. So, what I like about myself is my kindness, but knowing when to draw the line and knowing when to stop and say, okay, this is how far I go. The second thing is, what I like about myself is my courage. I am such a courageous person. I'm strong. When I get on stage, I just ooze courage and confidence. And people, when they look at me on stage, will never believe that this is something that I may have a problem with at certain times, but it's only at certain times. When someone raises their voice with me, or when I'm bullied, then I shut down. I withdraw. There's a negative narrative that starts, and it's about self protection. So immediately I'm saying to myself, okay, don't open up because this person is going to keep bullying you. So my courage just is completely closed off. This usually happens in relationships. And when I say relationship, very close relationships, the closer I get to people, the more my courage is tested. Um, and usually in romantic relationships, this happens. So you'll notice that a lot of these, what I like about myself is situational. And think about what you like about yourself. And at different situations, what happens? It could be something that is great, a great quality for you. But in certain situations, we fall apart. Why? We human. So here's the third thing. What I like about myself is my patience. I'm a coach and I have so much of patience listening to people's challenges and opportunities that they want to share, aspirations that they have. I have just so much, a world of patience listening to that without judgment. But when it is outside of a coaching conversation and it's a regular conversation, or I'm in a meeting, and when someone is going in circles, or someone's not getting to the point, then guess what? I get impatient. So my patience just goes out the window and I'm impatient. And I may come across as dismissive, or I may come across as pushy, or I may be viewed as self centered because it's like, okay, what Chloe wants, this is, she doesn't want to hear. And now that's what I do to others. So there's self-awareness that I have to be practicing. When am I coming across this way? These conversations usually happen when I'm either too busy, when I have no time, or when I know I'm going to be having a conversation with a person who always goes in circles, who doesn't get to the point. So, what do you like about yourself? And when does that change? What is the situation you placed in where that changes? And remember, it's certain things that others do to us, and it's also what do we do to others. The tendency is for us to think, okay, somebody's doing this to me, they're doing that to me, this person's saying that about me. How often do we take the time to think about how are we coming across? How are we making others feel? This is about self-love, because the more we think about how we make others feel, the more we learn who we are and we love ourselves more. Because why? We now embracing everybody. We're trying to be there and serve others. Who you are becoming is greater than who you were before this moment. Take a look in the mirror and ask yourself, what do I like about myself? And when does that thing that I like about myself change its face to something that I don't like? The next episode, we're going to talk about what I dislike about myself. When we look at social media, there's a lot of icons, and the three main icons is love it, like it, thumbs up, and dislike it. So next week, we're going to talk about dislike it.